We are humankind, dear Creator. We are gifted with body, mind, spirit, and soul. Our emotions can run amok at times, and here is where our mind and our emotions are critical to balance. Mind and emotion must work together, fully balanced for our self-governance. Guide us, therefore, Creator, to always be mindfully at center point, and so it is.
Thank you, Charlie. I'm Ron Droman, the old man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. I'm here this evening with Charlie and William on camera, Ray and Henry and Richard on telephone. Introduce yourselves.
My name is Charlie White. I'm the director of the Action Committee for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly.
I'm William Appel. On Portland, Oregon. I do the technology, website, TV show, YouTube.
I'm the High Plains Hogbuster.
Thank you, Henry.
This is Ray Stankel, and
All
I'm
right.
out here. See you soon.
All right. Thank you,
Okay,
Ray.
thanks, Ray. Thanks, Henry.
I'm Richard.
Hi, Richard.
I guess I'm a longtime member of the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly.
Yes, you are.
Well,
Not
no,
even a
Definitely
guess.
one of the people.
You're
Okay,
our
I'm one of the
favorite
people.
fugitive.
Okay.
I got a script and I'm going to read it. And if you guys want to break in and stop me, go ahead. And I hope it makes sense to the people that listen to this. This is a response to a question. How are you going to enforce your civilian court's orders? I'm going to answer that outside the box a bit. This is analogous to entering an intense conversation, remaining silent, and see if it comes clear. We file all of our paperwork through the Universal Postal Union Treaty. That is a guarantee between 200 world Earth nations to deliver the mail. I'm going to show you 3 documents. This document here is to Scott, the acting U.S. Attorney for Oregon. William's going to show a real good copy of it, but it shows the names, the thumbprints, and the round seal and the stamp from the post office. So we're not feeding you a line of bull. And here's one to the Supreme Court. You can probably see that. William's going to show the real copy of it. And here's proof of service on the back. Here's proof of service of one of them. Here's a 2-page document. This one is a quo warranto to Joe Cast, the sheriff of Marion County. And here's all the brown stamp, and everything. So there's the documentation for what we're doing. What one does is take the documents you want to lawfully and legally serve in the form of 2 originals with a proper envelope, with proper postage, properly stamped documents. A 2-cent stamp in the corner will do. And I showed you the attachments. A proper USPS form 3817, which is on the back. and it's a cost of $1.55 in Federal Reserve notes, a forever stamp, and a 2-cent stamp, paper, envelope, ink, and time. It takes a lot of time to get 7 members or 8 members of the court to drive from all over the Portland area to meet at the Beaverton post office, to set up, sign all the paperwork, sign all the copies, stamp them, and get it into the mail. It's not a lightweight undertaking, folks. Okay.
But we have fun doing it.
Yeah, we do.
It's an excuse to get together. We always have plenty to talk about.
That's for sure. Let's see. We get guaranteed by a treaty service of our document to whomever it was served or addressed to. Incontrovertible evidence. They got the document. The postal clerk, by treaty, round stamps both documents. I showed you the round stamp. Then he puts one document into the envelope, seals the envelope, and round stamps the envelope. We get our Form 3817 back, and the document is lawfully and legally served as addressed by treaty. The Marion County DA is one of 38 prosecutors on Oregon. Each one of them got our documents. The U.S. Postal Service UPU treaty. Are you folks aware of how important proof of service is in a de jure Article 3 Amendment 7 court and to the de facto prosecutors on Oregon, 36 DAs, 1 AG, and 1 JAG? However, the person in the Marion County DA that opens all of the mail told our deputy clerk of court, Cheryl, the Marion County DA did not receive our Oregon statewide Jural Assembly documents. Cheryl immediately sent additional originals to the Marion County DA, and we waited 3 days until we got a signed return receipt, a second layer of proof of service. Then we sent an email to Paige Clarkson, Marion County DA, her attorney, Amy Queen, and her investigator, Jennifer Roberts. We have notified the U.S. Postal Service Inspector General that we had a document delivered by UPU Postal Treaty and proof of delivery Form 3817. And the Marion County DA's office is saying they never got it. Someone is lying, and that is a job for the U.S. Postal Service Inspector General. 20 minutes after I sent that email, Jennifer, the inspector, our liaison at the Marion County DA, called me. Quote, Ron, we have all the documents you have sent. That included a claim of cognizance, which they acquiesced and defaulted to, thus voiding an arrest warrant. It's mindset, folks. Once you comprehend you are a sovereign without subject or ruler, as our founding documents demand of the several states and the United States and its territories, then you are, all the power is inherent in the people. You, all by yourself. I yield.
Well, I'll just respond that one thing that you say often, and it's so true, is that we must do it ourselves. But we don't do it alone. So that's a really interesting kind of twist on how it works.
Yeah. What's that called? Something that appears to be impossible but is true, or something like that. They have a name for it. It begins with a P. My brain won't function. Oh well.
I think it's very interesting. You know, we listen to you talk about the USPS stuff, and you know, we do research and we try to figure this out, but it's really interesting to find it actually working in reality in front of us. When you stick the postal unit on them, they automatically go, oh, wait a second here, we got it. You know, it's fascinating watching that happen. You know, and seeing the realities of what we've been talking about for some time now come right in front of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing that's interesting is that when they actually
Paradox. I'm sorry. Paradox.
Oh, there you go. You got
I'm
it.
sorry, Charlie.
That's all right. I was gonna lost what I was gonna say. Oh, think of it.
I have
I'm
a
sure you
question.
will.
Richard has a question
Go for it.
about what's going to happen now that the claim of cognizance has been found by the district attorney, found to be in their possession, which means that you or we, the civilian court of record, have jurisdiction over the discharge of a warrant. What does that mean? What is the implication there? Now that they have acknowledged that they have even acknowledged that they acquiesced, but their acknowledgement is what? By telephone, right? You have a piece of paper like saying we acquiesce to this?
No,
Ron?
no, I don't.
Okay.
No.
And you don't have an email in your inbox that says we acquiesce to this,
No, I don't.
right?
That's right.
So all you have is something that's very tenuous. And what's the next step for enforcing that? And let me start off with the fundamental, the raw. This is the very basic enforcement of a judgment.
It's not a
Except as
judgment.
otherwise provided.
Wait a minute. It's not a judgment.
Okay. All right. Okay. It's a
Court's order.
No, it's not a judgment. It's an order.
Correct.
Okay. But in ORS chapter 24, isn't judgment defined as including an order?
Yeah, I believe it is. Because I read that before I did any of this. Yeah.
Okay. So back to this basic information here.
But I'd
Except
like
as
to
otherwise
make,
provided by law.
can I
Okay, go
make a
ahead.
point, Richard?
Yeah.
We don't really care what the ORS says, what the de facto says in their rules. We have a de jure court with a de jure court's order, and we have a grand jury presentment. We have all of the documents. I cannot beat them up with the stick to make them do it. I really can't. That's not where we go. But if you really gather in and you understand that you are a sovereign, and I am, and Charlie is, and William is, then there is no one that can stand before you. Period. But you got to have that mindset. It's not what they say in the ORS. We could give two shits. Go, Charlie.
So I remembered what I was going to say,
I
and that is
figured you had.
and that is that I find it in this whole process that we're so deeply involved in and have been for quite some time, that the whole process of enforcement, it always comes up, but the whole issue of acquiescence is right there. It's like a pregnant woman, you know, we're waiting for something to happen and they do nothing. So by virtue of their acquiescence, we don't need anyone to put anything in writing. We don't need evidence of them folding or acquiescing. By virtue of their silence, we have contracted with them and they have acquiesced. So, and again, the mindset allows us to move as if we have won because we have, and we don't have to enforce anything so long as we go about our business as we are as sovereigns. They don't threaten us.
I envision it. I envision this as the de facto and the de jure, and as we continue to prove that these persons are actually imposters, they're pirates on our ship. We are really just showing the rest of the people of Oregon and, of course, the rest of the states that these people are that way. And as this happens, we just walk away from them and don't play their game anymore.
Yep. And
Right.
I'd like to bring up one more thing for Richard. We have allegedly founding documents and all of that stuff. And the folks in the UK are still subjects of the Queen. They got, the Magna Carta and all kinds of stuff. And they got a place in a park that's called the Speaker's Corner where you can have free speech and say anything you want. BFD, you got a corner in a park where you can go say the truth? Okay, that's what it means to be a subject, I guess. I don't know. But
that reminds me of these colleges and the high schools and stuff. They would give a free speech zone that you could stand. They would just like draw the lines in a square right there where you could freedom of speech right there, but nowhere else on the campus. It's horrendous. And I remember when I was in high school, and they would, it was back when they told us that we lived in a free country, but I couldn't tell by the treatment that I was getting in the high school.
yes,
You weren't a people, though. You were a high schooler.
that's true too. You were chattel of your parents according to law. Richard, fix your phone. Either talk or mute it or whatever.
So you touched on the monarchy, and I find it interesting because people will accuse some of us of anarchy, that, patriots are anarchists. Well, if you think about the definition, and I'm just going to read it, this is in the Oxford American Desk Dictionary. I don't know what volume, it doesn't matter really. But the definition of anarchy, there are a couple here. The first one they name is disorder, especially political or social. You can also redefine or take apart what disorder means. I mean, yes, we might want to disorder some of the order of color of law because it's very ordered and layered. Okay, but the second part of this is lack of government in a society. So the question,
No, I don't like that one. If you got a third definition there,
no, it's pretty lean here.
It's pretty basic because
Yeah.
the real one says anarchy is no ruler.
Yes, I heard that
that's
today.
it.
I heard that today. This is a different definition. And I do like that better because we are not a monarchy. We do not want to be an oligarchy. We want to be self-governing. And that's why in the prayer I was saying that very thing, that, we have emotions and we have mind. And to balance those, to self-govern is really critical so that we can use our wits, our wisdom, our accrued wisdom, and apply that without emotion. We're driven by emotion. But the reference we had the other day, and I think it was another interview, was self-governance. And that is governing in a balanced way.
I want to add democracy to that list that we don't want either. I mean, people might hate me for that, because we've been preached to for my whole lifetime that democracy is this great thing, and we've been forced into wars over in the Middle East over helping those people get democracy and all that stuff. But when you really look at democracy, the minority loses every single time.
Democracy is sold to us. We are reminded that we are a democracy from the lips of every politician, every TV host, every political display of reference to who we are as people of the United States of America. So this is something that's really critical when we start talking about words and definitions of words and what they mean. I mean, even the word freedom. You could ask 10 people what freedom is to them, and every one of them is going to have a different definition of it. I yield.
How are we doing on time?
3 minutes.
All right. Good. We're getting this one out of the way, and then tomorrow we're going to do another one so that William can go on vacation.
He's worked hard and deserved it. He's worked hard for it.
Where are you going, William?
We're going to go up in the gorge. We've been camping there outside last year because of the COVID. Where I camp is just on the edge of the Multnomah County line there. And because I was in Multnomah County and not the county next to it, the federal government closed my campground down. But I've been camping out there for like 11 or 12 years. It's a big, giant group site out there. We end up getting somewhere between 60 and 80 people or something out there, depending on which day it is.
I'm going to see if I can get Aida to drive us out there one day to visit.
Yeah, you can come out there for an evening and enjoy a meal with us.
Thank you. Yes.
Sounds nice.
You too, Charlie.
Thank you. Well, I just want to say thank you to both of you. I think this whole opportunity to share what we're doing as an assembly is so vital. There are so many people who have frustration, don't know what to do with it. They want to do something. Sometimes someone will kind of say, cheers to you, but it's just not their thing. That's okay. But at least they know that they have an opportunity to join us if they want. There are a lot of groups that are doing very similar things, not quite like we are, certainly, but everyone is stepping up that we meet and these functions that we go to and try to get people to join our jury pool. So
sometimes it only takes one person on the block to light off the fireworks to start a chain reaction of other people on the block lighting fireworks.
There you go.
All right. I think let's let William paste this together and publish it and meet again tomorrow and do the same thing.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Go to our website, orsja.org. From there, you can go to YouTube and Facebook, like and subscribe to us. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.
The word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify. Even today, There is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not abide with it. There is a grave danger that an announced need for instant security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. Today, no war has been declared, and however fierce the struggle may be, it may never be declared in the traditional fashion. Our way of life is under attack. Those who make themselves our enemy are advancing around the globe. The survival of our friends is in danger, and yet no war has been declared. No borders have been crossed by marching troops. No missiles have been fired. If the press is awaiting a declaration of war before it imposes the self-discipline of combat conditions, then I can only say that no war ever posed a greater threat to our security. If you are awaiting a finding of clear and present danger, then I can only say that the danger has never been more clear, and its presence has never been more imminent. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. And then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up.
And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, to shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.